So, Nidihike Luskar asked me, how do we come up with ideas for your characters? They specifically meant the weird random characters that I make a lot. The simple answer is I just find a shape that I like and I slap a funny face on it. I will go into more details. One of the biggest steps in creating those random characters is having a sketchbook. So often in the evening when I'm watching TV with my woman on the couch, I just doodle without thinking about it too much. So what I'm going to do right now is kind of go through a process how I come up with one of these random characters and how I create them so they'll be like a cool social media post. On my screen, as you can see, I have a couple of sketches that I made last night when I was chilling out on the couch. So that's kind of the big thing that you see here, returning the shape of a squash. The first thing you can think about is shapes. The second thing you can think about is the details that you slap on those shapes. And these are details that you can also slap on different shapes and still create new, unique characters. Now it's on a squash, but if I would put it on a square, it's already like a whole new different thing. I'm starting with the shape of the squash. Next thing I like to think about are the details. The two things, the size of eyes. I like to play around with the size of eyes, as you can see a little bit here, and a location and things like that. So I like finding like the smallest eyes I can make. I love making those dead eyes. It's just something I'm into. So that's the big thing about this. Like easily coming up with things are just like what interests you about design. What would you like to see more of? So I just love the way beady eyes look. So I would just slap them on any. That's another part for me, at least, about doing this is I try not to think about stuff too much because tomorrow's another day, you know, and I'll try to make another character tomorrow. So it really doesn't matter too much how great today's character is. Popeyes. I don't know. I like that. I actually like that. Look, accidents. Lean into it. So one of the other things that I really like slightly odd mouth shapes and gums a lot. So gums are just not fun to look at, but that make them fascinating to me. Maybe part of it is that mine are so bad. These are like details at the moment in most of the characters I draw have a lot of these similar details or different iterations of these details because that's just what I'm into at the moment. So I just really, if you're really into fashion or something, maybe that's what you can focus on. Like right now, I'm just not that. Right now, I'm into eyes. I'm into gums. So to me, I'm like, okay, slap some arms underneath this. I've been drawing a lot of caps lately, so maybe I want to draw a cowboy hat instead. Oh, that's great. This would be fun as like some dark dimension. This could be like a sitcom from a dark dimension. Honey, I'm home. So yeah, look, I got basic character here real quick. Just to shape some details. Don't make it complicated. Let's ink this. It took me watching Curb Your Enthusiasm to realize that I'm a George. I always thought I was a Jerry. Always felt weird to say, but I'm that kind of self-centered. I guess that I think I'm the main character. Understanding that George is based on Larry David just made me realize that I'm a George. I don't know what to do with it, with this information. Okay, so the last part of making like a random character is color and texture. Randomcolor.com. And it gives you a random color. And then I just kind of click on it until I find something that I don't feel like I've overused. I usually, everything that's white, I try to make a little yellow just because it's slightly off-putting. So what I often do is work monochromatically because I'm a lazy man, and that's a very lazy and efficient way to color something in a way that feels like everything goes together, because it's essentially just variations on the same color. Difficult part about monochromatic is that you need to really keep an eye on the contrast. This looks like an interesting and funny character already. Like, I want to find out what he's about. And I hope you do too. Create a solid color. Okay, my camera's almost out of batteries. But this is pretty much how I do it, how I create a simple, fun character. And as you can see, it doesn't take that much. There's a couple, if you think about the shape and the details, you can just repeat this, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, and you can do this every day. It's not that difficult. Just need to find a balance where you don't overthink it too much, Like, don't be too critical